One of the big keys in this series is going to be the Florida forecheck against the Edmonton Oilers breakout. But the Florida forecheck is smothering against their opponent. They're aggressive, they're physical on the opposing D, they create turnovers, and then they attack the net. When Florida's forecheck is working, they are smothering on their opponents. They make good plays from below the goal line, and then they attack the net. They can keep opponents struggling in their defensive zone. You're going to see it again. Physical on defense, create a turnover, and then get pucks at the net. They get a lot of shots at the net, and everybody going to the net with traffic. Florida's incredibly dangerous when their forecheck is working. Edmonton has struggled with an aggressive forecheck. You can see it here against the Vancouver Canucks earlier in the playoffs. They create a turnover at the goal line, and then they attack the net quickly from there. And the Edmonton Oilers struggled with that. You're going to see it again with the Edmonton Oilers defense against the LA Kings on the breakout. You think you're out of the zone, but you're not. And this is how Florida plays. They smother you at the blue line, and then they attack the net going back the other way. For the Edmonton Oilers to be successful in this series, they have to beat the aggressive forecheck, and they need to do that by moving the puck quickly. Quick puck movement beats pressure, and they did it against Florida earlier this season, where you see they make good passes, get a defenseman up in the ice, use their skill through the neutral zone and their speed, and they attack the Florida Panthers aggressively, and they were able to beat that forecheck. Their key area of this series is going to be the net front in front of Skinner. Florida gets pucks and people to the net. Edmonton has to protect the house. Florida automatically throws pucks behind the net, and they make plays from below the goal line, and they attack the net quickly from there. You're going to see Edmonton dealing with the same kind of pressure against Vancouver earlier in this series for a play from below the goal line with a player in front of the net. Edmonton has to defend this area better if they're going to beat the Florida Panthers. You're going to see it again when Florida played Edmonton in the regular season, throwing the puck automatically below the net. They anticipate it, and then they attack the net quickly from there. And Edmonton has to defend the house and get a player on these guys in front of the net, in front of Skinner. Again, against the Florida Panthers, automatically throw the puck below the goal line. They anticipate it, and then they attack the net quickly from there. Edmonton has to protect the house and get a stick on that player. They can't give up these kind of opportunities against Skinner. The other thing Florida does extremely well is they get shots to the net with traffic. And then after they shoot the puck, they recover the puck, and then they smother you in the offensive zone, and then they shoot the puck again with traffic. It's going to be a problem for Edmonton if they can't get out of the zone, because it's just low to high, shots with traffic, attack the net, puck recoveries, and then beat the team in the blue paint. And Edmonton has struggled with that in this series. You can see it against Dallas. A shot with traffic, the defenseman doesn't box out, he doesn't get under sticks, and the puck ends up in behind Skinner. You're going to see it against the LA Kings. Shot with traffic in front of the net, the defensemen don't box out, they don't get under sticks, and next thing it's behind Skinner. You're going to see it here against the Florida Panthers earlier in the season. Shot with traffic at the net. And look at that. All three Florida players are inside. Edmonton has to defend the house. They have to get on these players in this area of the ice. The battleground in front of Skinner is going to be a huge key to this series. Key to the series is going to be the neutral zone. Florida's tight gaps against Oilers' skill and speed. The Florida Panthers caused fits for the New York Rangers all series with their tight gaps and didn't allow the New York Rangers to get through the blue lines. You can see it again here. No room to move in the neutral zone, and they turn pucks over and go back the other way again. Florida, with their tight gaps, didn't give any room for the New York Rangers, and then pucks go back the other way. You're going to see it again. Tight gaps, no room to move. They create turnovers, which leads to transition, and the Florida Panthers get the pucks going back the other way and then attack the net from there. You can see it again. Once you think you're through, no, there's Barkov with the back check. Barkov is unbelievable at getting back in the zone. That's why he is such a great defensive forward. You think you're through it, and you have to use speed and skill to get through the neutral zone against the Florida Panthers, or they're going to get the puck and go back the other way. How do you beat that? Well, you get them before they can get into structure. You get turnovers and transition. We've talked about Florida's aggressive defensemen. You got to get behind them before they can get set up and get into structure and get behind their D and use your skill and speed to get through the neutral zone to get opportunities like this. You're going to see it again against the Rangers. Aggressive D, get behind that aggressive D, create transition before they can get set into their structure and get opportunities. And Edmonton is outstanding at this. You can see against Vancouver with an aggressive G, well, McDavid's on the ice. And with McDavid on the ice, his skill and speed can get through the neutral zone and beat that aggressive neutral zone forecheck of the Florida Panthers, you're going to see what Boston did against that aggressive D. They used chips along the wall. Don't go to the middle of the ice. Chip the puck off the wall, chip to speed, and then attack the Florida Panthers from there. And that's another thing Edmonton is outstanding at. You can see the LA Kings with their 1-3 neutral zone. Instead of going to the middle of the ice, they chip the puck off the wall, and then they attack the net from there. Edmonton uses their skill and speed to get through the neutral zone and then attack the net. You're going to see it again here where they're trying to beat that aggressive defenseman. Instead of the middle of the ice, they chip it off the wall, chip to themselves, and then attack the net with speed from there. The neutral zone is going to be a huge battleground between these two teams. Another key to this series is the special teams, and nothing more dangerous than the Edmonton Oilers power play. The Oilers have scored 1/3 of all of their goals in this playoffs on the power play, but they have to face the aggressive penalty kill of the Florida Panthers, and the Panthers are very aggressive on the entries. They didn't allow the New York Rangers to set up in the last series, and they're also very aggressive in zone. They're aggressive on the puck. They don't give their opponents time and space, and they have great sticks, which keeps the opponent at bay in the defensive zone. But they haven't faced Connor McDavid, and Connor McDavid is elite at distributing the puck in the power play, and he has so many targets. But his favorite target is Leon Draisaitl, low in the zone. Draisaitl is going to be low on the right circle, and he can score from impossible angles. Look for Leon Draisaitl to set up and get all kinds of room in this area of the ice, and he has the ability to score from that close to the goal line. You have to watch Connor McDavid when he is on the move. He is dangerous from this right-hand circle. His ability to open up space for his other teammates because he draws traffic to him. When you go to defend McDavid, that leaves other players open like Leon Draisaitl. Again, Draisaitl is able to score from low in the zone. So just keep your eye on Draisaitl, right? Well, unfortunately, no. McDavid comes through the zone as he distributes to Draisaitl. Draisaitl now doesn't have a shooting lane. He's covered by the LA King defender. Well, just throw it back to Evan Bouchard, this playoff's leading scorer by playoff goals by a defenseman. Absolutely lethal threat from the back end. So you just cover Draisaitl and Bouchard? Nope. Now you got to deal with Zach Hyman near the net, near the blue paint. Unbelievable, lethal on the power play. Well, deal with all of those guys and you're all good, right? Nope. Now you got to deal with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Playmaking, his ability to score. This power play has 5 players that can all do it. Best advice for the Florida Panthers is to stay out of the penalty box. The last key to this series is the league's best player and the X factor of this entire series. If the Edmonton Oilers are going anywhere, it's going to be on the back of Connor McDavid. And you need to be aware when Connor McDavid is on the ice, even when you have the puck. Pucks have to get in deep. You have to make Connor McDavid skate 200 feet because if there's a turnover, he gets up to speed too quickly and he gets great opportunities off of the rush. You need to be aware when he is on the ice. You cannot give him space. You need to stay above McDavid. You got to stay in his lane. You got to stay in his way. You can't let him get up to speed and you can't give him this much space, because he is too dangerous when left alone, not just at his ability to score, but his ability to make plays. He is just much too dangerous. He's the best player in the world for a reason. You need to stay in his way. And here's against the Florida Panthers earlier in the season where Florida forgot about Connor McDavid. Their aggressive style in the defensive zone left gaps, left holes, left McDavid uncovered, and he's able to get one past the Florida goaltender. Again, Doughty in the playoffs. You got him, but then you don't got him. You got to stay with him. You can't give him time and space to think and to move and to make plays like this. And the Dallas Stars were guilty of puck watching earlier in the series, and they left Connor McDavid, the most dangerous player on the ice, all alone in front of the net. You cannot do that. You cannot give him time and space. And in the neutral zone, if you allow him to get up to speed and you don't have a tight gap on him, he is absolutely lethal because you think you have him and you think you have a tight gap, but then you don't. He is just that good. He is the biggest difference in this series. Can he get up to speed? And can the Florida Panthers defend him?